Fika for life. My name is Linh and my co-host is
Edward Thomas.
And our special guest today is
Timmy.
Timmy.
Oh, Timmy!
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Sorry, people's ears just popped.
Timmy!
Oh no.
So since we had a really heavy period
Talk about yourself.
with all the episodes about sex that maybe not all people wanted to listen to, all singles wanted to listen to, but now this is only for you, my friends. Today we're going to talk about who wants to say it? Who wants to say it?
I don't want to say it. It's like a taboo thing.
No, it's not. Timmy, you can spell it out.
So we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts or 101 on dates.
Dating 101.
Do.
So, Ed and me, we are married, not to each other, but to other people.
Praise the Lord for that.
And Timmy, excuse me.
I don't think we're talking about murder 101.
Timmy, you like those kind of things.
Exactly. It's the thing that floats my boat. Let's kill something. Okay, honey, just for you.
And Timmy is single, so I don't know. Should we start with you were out of the game for a long time?
What are you talking? I've been married 29 years. That is not out of the game for a long
You've
time.
been out of the game
I
for a long
still
time.
remember what it was like.
How was it?
Back in 1990.
How was the
How was
dating
it
scene
100 years
that
ago?
time?
Well, in the last century when I was dating.
So wait, for the people who live on the rocks usually, what is dating?
Well,
What's the American dating? And then we can talk about what other people.
like what's the Swedish dating? No, but so the dating, I mean, because of globalization and because of television and stuff, dating is kind of like this universal term that people think they know what it's about, but it's not really. In the old days,
like 100 years ago.
100. Oh no, it'd be like so we're in like the late 1800s, so we're probably like 130, 140 years ago.
Okay.
And what happened was that men and women didn't hang out together. You never talked to anyone because it was just improper. And so in order to get to know someone, you had to find a way to spend time with them. And so you had a chaperone, and the chaperone went with you on a date. Mm-hmm. And so the chaperone was there to make sure that you didn't do anything that you shouldn't be doing, and also to guarantee the purity of the couple who was there. By the time we get down to the 1950s and the start of the teenage culture, where young people start feeling like we are just like adults, we know everything, we don't need any chaperones, we don't need anyone to tell us what to do. And the chaperoning thing sort of fell away, but still spending time together to get to know one another, to find out if you like the person, if they liked you. And that's where the whole modern dating culture has come into view. So a date is not necessarily, so if you're a boyfriend or girlfriend, you're having a monogamous, serious relationship with someone, that's not dating. So dating is actually, or sometimes people like in a sloppy way, they say, oh, I'm dating this person. And then what they really mean is that I'm involved in a relationship with that
committed.
person. Yeah. But dating is really, is supposed to be what leads to that relationship. So it's the time you spend getting to know someone. And you can, even though some people think that you shouldn't, you can date other people, but you just should be open about it.
Yeah, don't make
because some people
dates.
Because dating is sort of saying I want to get to know you.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of like it's more than just like.
But what if you get to know multiple people at the same time?
Well, but he just said it. You can do that, but you have to be open with it.
But then also that means that people would consider you not being very serious.
Yeah,
and so you might someone who seems more ready to commit to just one person might then move a little bit further along than you and push you out of your place. So, but I believe that you make your intentions clear. And if you're going to date more than one person, make that clear that, hey, I just want to get to know you. I'm not trying to make you my boyfriend or girlfriend right away. Mm-hmm. And that leads to where the confusion comes in, because when people are unclear, then what happens is that people don't know and they start to fill in their fantasy. And the fantasy then makes them assume that you're together with someone. But if you and the person have not agreed to it and have talked
we are boyfriend and girlfriend now,
we're not dating other people, then you don't have it.
No.
You only have it when both people are in agreement.
Yeah.
You know, there's a very weird concept because there's a lot of charismatic churches that have like sprung up in South Africa when I was still back home, where people strongly believe that you should not date. You should court for like 3 or 4 months and then get married.
Court?
And courting? Well, what's the difference between courting and dating?
Yeah, but they really hated the term like dating. You should like, literally be courting for like a month.
And courting is just the older word for dating.
Literally like, or your family getting to know each other. The family should be so involved.
Wow, but that's really serious. That's a lot of pressure.
Know, that's a lot. I would literally observe from a distance when people are just like, I feel like I'm going to marry that girl. So and then some people literally would have like dreams, like, because I remember there's this one girl I went to high school with, and then this boy said he had a dream that he's supposed to marry her. I'm so serious. And they actually ended up marrying.
Really?
They actually ended up getting married where he's courted her. And she was young.
I
She
like
was
to
even
interject
younger
here.
than me.
If someone gets a dream that they should marry you and you don't get that dream, run.
Don't.
I believe in a God who can talk to 2 people at the same time.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Ready? Because I'm like, if you had a dream about me and I didn't have the dream about you, then, you know.
The dream where your dream comes from is not a good place.
Might be Satan. I'm just going to run.
Wow.
But I think, and also in different cultures where 2 people getting together. So there are cultures where the family gets together. And if the families can't get together, the 2 people can't get together.
Yeah.
In the West, like say in Europe and North America, where what families think is really unimportant in most cases.
I think that's dumb.
Yeah, well, it's a stupid thing, but people do it all the time because everyone thinks that I just need you and you just need me, but they don't understand that you need that family support, and 2 families that like you is a lot better situation than 2 families that hate each other.
So, yeah. And I mean, it's not, somewhat it's correct that you're saying you're marrying this specific person, but do you really want all holidays to be about that your loved one has to crack his or her head up all the time where to go on a certain, like for Christmas, for Easter, for birthdays, for weddings, for funerals? And do you want to have this constant fight? I don't know.
No.
Do you want that?
No.
I mean, it's a lifetime most of the time. So.
But basically, I believe 4 things. I think that if you would like to have someone in your life and there's no one specific, make a lot of friends. And as you make friends with people and you get to know them, then start deciding out of the people that you actually know, who actually know you, without the pressure, and then maybe decide maybe some of them you would like to get to know better and see if that's possible. Most people, what they do, unfortunately, most people date and marry people who are perfect strangers. They never get to know, and then I don't know why we end up in divorce. Well,
like this program, Married at First Sight. Or
that's scary.
How could people sign up for something so stupid?
I don't know how people do that.
Yeah.
That's just...
Well, they usually explain it. They're so desperate, and they just wanted to break a bad pattern they're having, or they're just hoping for...
So like The Bachelorette or The Bachelor.
But that's kind of like
here I am.
psycho.
I want to have a serious
really
relationship by having relationships that are unstable with other people. I'm going to kiss I'm a bachelor and I'm looking for a wife, so I'm going to kiss 20 women
to see which
so
one
I can
is
prove
wife.
to you how faithful I can be.
So back home they have a show called Date My Family.
Oh, I've seen similar programs like that.
Date My Family.
Yeah, so in South Africa we have this program called Date My Family.
Wow.
What happens is that as a bachelor you're chosen, and then 3 partners like are chosen for you. 3 girls are chosen if you're a guy that's interested in girls. And then what happens is you get introduced, or you never see the incumbent, but you get to meet the family of the incumbent, and you have dinner with them, and then you talk, and then
get to
get to mingle with the family and
secondhand.
secondhand opinion from the family, which I find it so interesting. I like
Must
that
be
show.
fun.
I really like that show.
But I mean, that's also why there's certain cultures where you don't date, but the family chooses your partner, and then the first time you see your partner is your wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like some Old
super
Testament.
There are still a lot of countries
Well,
where this
there's
is
still
practiced.
countries that do
I know.
that.
That's how you end up with. You think you're getting a Rachel, but you get a Leah. For those of you who don't know the Bible, there was a guy named.
That
There
is
was
so
a guy
mean,
who.
Ed.
There was a guy who worked 7 years, and he thought he was going to get the girl of his dream, Rachel. Instead, he got her sister, who wasn't really a catch, and so he had to work another 7 years to get his Rachel.
But he got both then.
He got
I
both.
know.
After 40 years, he got both.
And then he got two of them. Well, I can have more babies. You can have babies. Take my servant.
He got 4 baby mamas.
He had some serious
Yeah,
headache problems
yeah.
right there. Ooh.
Wow. So tell me about your crazy dates. Your failed dates.
I've never failed at a date.
Okay.
Every date with me has been wonderful.
Well, you had what was the date? Which was the date that Timmy talked about before?
No, he talked about something that we were talking before when Timmy was a guest here.
Yeah.
And we were talking about a date that he had that
Went
that was kind of a
bad.
failed date. It went bad. It
Which
wasn't
one
a good
was
date.
it? I think I don't remember.
I don't
you
remember
guys.
either. I always forget everything I talk about. So
I went on
I
it-
can't remember. That was a
But
long
I can
time
tell you
ago we
guys on a
talked
date.
about it.
When I was younger, I was really into online dating.
wow.
Really?
There was before you had before I had smartphones and you had
Yeah.
these apps and stuff, so it was more on the computer. So I used to be really popular.
Oh.
Wow. Wait a minute. Okay. So what's your online names I can Google?
Your alter ego.
I know.
Anyway,
It's like
so I would just like
Fraulein hot stuff.
no summer vacation. I would just like go on random dates with guys, and
Like
it-
any guys just show up and you're just
no,
like, okay.
obviously I would chat with them and get to know them like online, and
Wow.
then we would meet up in the middle of the city because you should meet in a public place.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I guess you
Please.
date Jack the Ripper. So,
And yeah, but this one guy, he was really disgusting. So we was just sitting in a cafe, and he just started like you had individual chairs
Yeah.
around a table. So he would just sit next to me and just come really close and just put his hand on my leg, and I wore a mini skirt. Oh, so smart. So he would put his leg, and then he would like put his arm around me and tell me how beautiful I was, and all this touchy stuff. And I'm like, ew, like no, this is not going to happen.
but was he telling the truth?
I don't care. This is not how you approach
Have
a
you
lady.
ever been catfished? I think it's the most atrocious thing that could happen to you.
Like someone
catfish is just
Yeah.
really
Someone like,
Really, I've been catfished.
What
It
can-
was
Wait.
bad.
bad. Oh,
can you guys explain what catfish is?
well,
So
catfish is a
Except for the fish.
that
Except
lives in
for
the
the
water.
fish. Except for the fish part. Oh my
bottom.
gosh.
Catfish is like Ed trying to date you,
Uh-huh.
but using
My brother.
Will Smith's pictures.
Oh, like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No. No.
Yeah, there's even a show on MTV. It's so good.
Yeah, but that one is like people think they're talking like sometimes like it'll be a girl and she thinks she's talking to a guy, but it'll be another girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it'll be like she's talking to someone and like she's hanging out with this person, like a male friend or a
Exactly.
female friend, and they're hanging out and like they go, but then this person online is being
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
else,
yeah, yeah.
and after a
Someone
couple of
else.
years, it's like, oh, but I'm really in love, and I'm like,
You've
my
never
gosh.
met this
I
person.
catfished. I catfished.
I can't believe you would do that.
No,
That
no,
is
no, no.
So bad.
Okay, let me explain this.
I knew something was fishy about her.
No, but we were a bunch of 2 teenage girls. Like, I think we were like 13, 14 or something. And my friend, she was starting to like, before apps times. So she was messaging this one guy, and he started really to fall in love with us. So we made up this alter
guys are-
ego,
no.
whatever.
Oh my
mean.
gosh.
And then we took a picture of me, but like you couldn't tell I was that young because we made me look older. And then he was all lovey-dovey, and we even talked to him on the phone. And then in the end, we
Whoa.
confessed. We are just
You
2
killed
teenage
the poor
girls.
guy.
And they were calling the police. Now
I
you're gonna go to
seriously
jail.
would do that. It's really bad. It is so bad to be on the receiving end of a catfish.
Yes,
It's
but I was a
really bad.
teenage girl. I'm sorry. We just
That makes it so
wanted
much
to have
better. She
fun.
was a teenage girl, Timmy.
Yeah.
It's okay to hurt people's hearts and
No.
play with their
Exactly,
feelings when
be
you're a
a
teenage
horrible
girl.
person.
I know.
I'm sorry for what I did when I was 13. You can cancel me if you want to.
And now
Because that seems to
and
be
now
a
she's
culture.
16. She's 16 now, so with 2 kids.
Well, yeah.
So Timmy, tell us about your catfishing adventure.
Like on the receiving side.
This has nothing to do with dating people, but it does have to do with
Be careful.
be careful and make sure. Like that's why I don't like online dating
Yeah.
because you don't know who you're talking to.
Until you meet them.
And please meet in
that's-
public as well.
Like exactly, you don't know until you meet them, and if it's not the same person, then
Yeah, so my catfish experience was I was on there's this app called Badoo. I just went on it.
well, okay, that's the first thing. It's the name of the app. That she already told you that was a problem.
Okay.
Badoo.
So I went on the app and I was like, yeah, I just want to meet interesting people. And I was talking to someone who literally was like, it's like she's very articulate and very smart and everything. And it ended up being just an old man who was using his cousin's photos. I was so broken.
But how did you get to know that?
Because I was literally getting on the bus to Ian shopping because this person was from
This
Ian.
happened in Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
was on the way.
I'm
I was on the way
Timmy.
to Ian's shopping
sorry.
to meet this person to have like a fika.
And then?
And then I was like, oh no.
But
it's
how-
an
but what
old
happened?
geezer.
Hit the good nut.
But wait, how did you know then before you even met up?
So the thing about Sweden, thank God, hallelujah, is that you can get someone's telephone numbers.
Oh yeah.
So what I
Hitta.
do is you go on Hitta and
Yeah.
you find it. If you can't find it on Hitta,
Yeah.
you can
Rex
try
it.
to swish this person money. Then their official name comes out.
Oh,
So
my
when-
gosh, you're so
Vicky
smart.
sneaky.
Oh, I'm sneaky. I'm sneaky. I got
wow.
skills.
Yeah.
I got damn skills.
Yeah, okay.
And then I
Man.
got the real name,
Yeah.
and then I got I got the name, and then I went to go look because in Sweden, people's real names, their addresses are linked to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I put in the name, and I put in the address, and I found that address, and I tried to Google the number, and everything clocked out.
It was
and
this
then,
guy.
Exactly. And then I messaged this person. I was like, your name is this, and this is your number, and this is where you live. I'm going to call the police because I'm actually underage.
Nah. Oh my god.
And I played
Wow.
the trick back.
Wow.
I was very hurt and disappointed.
Wow.
What did this guy say?
Well, he blocked me and he just blocked me everywhere.
Well,
I
I'm
was
sure he did.
Yeah, obviously I said that I'm underage
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
he's trying to do this. I'm going to
Wow.
unmail him to the police.
Oh my god.
I had to get him back. I was so angry. Why would he do that? And he was using a girl's pictures like his little cousin's pictures.
Maybe he was
But that's
a
a
pedophile.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe,
pervert.
I don't know, but something was just
Ooh.
really wrong. It's just,
Wow.
no, some people are just really disturbed.
What about you, Ed?
We didn't have catfishing in my day because we didn't have computers, we didn't have apps, smartphones.
You see what you get.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of hard to hide. You know, it's like, well, I'm in a phone booth across the street from you. Ooh, you look like a catfish. I'm not going over there. If somebody was catfishing back then, they had a pole with some bacon on the end.
Yeah.
So dating. What is a good
Yes.
place to date, or what is a don't on a date?
Please don't be unhygienic.
Yeah, be clean,
Please.
smell good,
Ooh,
smell
wash your armpit and use some deodorant. Don't put on body antiperspirant. Antiperspirant will make you sweat like a fish.
Pig.
A pig. There you go. Put on some deodorant. At least like the 24-hour, not 48-hour kind.
good. 72. Go for
'cause
72.
you might be
For
powerful.
365 days.
I mean,
Exactly.
you were all nervous and you got sweaty. You become sweaty, and maybe it's a hot summer day and you're going to date, so you don't
Okay,
want
listen.
to do that.
If you're a sweaty person,
don't go to date in summertime.
no, use talcum powder. So
Yeah.
talcum powder is just, it dries everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can put all over your body.
it's like
You
the baby powder.
Yeah, and you can make it can almost like smell. You can use cornstarch.
Cornstarch, yeah.
So yeah, cornstarch is a really good
Baking
talcum
soda.
powder. 'Cause there's
Baking
no-
soda as well. Very good.
No, but now baking really.
No,
Yeah.
Ooh, no,
I
baking soda
think
is like I
you
don't want to
should.
put some baking powder.
I
on
think you
and make a
should just
cookie out
use
of you.
just use baby powder. It smells well too. Smells
You
Some
don't-
nice.
people smell
if
through
you,
it.
you don't want to smell like baby if you
Yes,
go.
you want to. girls
I'm a
want
man. I'm going on a
If
date
you're
with a woman. She's like,
man and you
"Oh, you
coming
smell
up
like
to
a
her, she's like,
baby."
You smell like my cousin's baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, I'm cute, huh?
Doesn't make an impression, Lynn. I'm sorry.
Anyway, okay. Be hygienic. Brush your teeth. Make sure you
No,
don't have
don't-
smelly.
Don't just brush
breath.
your teeth.
Floss.
Floss. Make sure you don't
Yes,
have anything
please.
hanging in there. Use a brush, that you get in between the teeth. Gargle twice.
Use gum if you have issues with your breath.
Use gum.
And nails. Maybe I have a thing about nails. Your nails shouldn't have grime in it, like that
I
black
get it.
thing. Like that's just
That's disgusting.
That's because I scratch my butt all the time.
seriously.
So I can smell underneath my nails.
Oh,
You know why he says that? Because he does that.
you shouldn't do that.
Right before communion.
Oh,
Stop it. Some people might take that
people are
serious.
Okay, I guess. Oh, I'm
Seriously.
sorry.
Oh.
I said I wasn't going to joke about stuff like that anymore, but I can't help it.
ew.
It just comes out. I'm evil.
Okay,
No,
Ed,
I
what
wouldn't do
should you...
that before communion. I believe in the sacraments. I'm
What?
really serious. about
Okay, what else?
it. Okay, so once you fixed your mouth,
And your
then
hair.
then you go to the nose.
Yeah,
So
please.
if you're older, you're dating like me. Like the hairs grow. Like look at the hairs of my ears. Look.
I've seen it. I'm like, how is this
I
possible?
don't think that's I think hair, as long as I don't think hair should be such a big issue. Maybe
You
it's
don't want to
because-
have hair growing out your nose,
no, but
and you
the
don't want
thing-
hair growing out your ears. You just trim it
I
up.
don't think I would have a problem with that because, literally, I come from a culture where hair is literally becomes a very, very big issue. In the black
What?
community, hair is a big
Only
issue.
on your head.
On your head and also on your body, or
Really?
even the young people nowadays are like, yeah, you should be shaved.
Do you have hair on your chest?
No,
Yeah, neither
it
do
doesn't
I.
grow.
See, that must be because I'm South African.
No, you're not South African.
It's a proof.
You're not South
I'm
African.
Kosa. Yes.
You can't even say
You
Kosa
can't even
Rise.
say it correctly.
Kosa.
We should call Trevor Noah. Trevor, if you hear that, tell Ed he's not South African.
Oh my god, you're not even saying this correctly. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't have hair growing on my chest or my armpits. It just doesn't grow.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
even,
Even your armpit?
yeah.
Should I tell you, my husband doesn't neither.
You know, he doesn't have hair on his armpit.
No.
I have hair, but it's only like this big. It's been like that for
I
like 50
don't-
years.
Okay, anyway, back to dating.
I think Lynn has an afro on her armpit.
You're so mean. This is really sensitive for a woman. Actually, I just shaved like yesterday or something.
What about
Why
your
is
back?
it so sensitive to women to about
Because,
the
because-
legs and things?
Because you disgusting perverts always want women to look like little children.
No, I don't.
Hairless.
I want to look like Bigfoot. I want to be hairy all over.
You know, I can take everything, but not the moustache. Like, if a woman has hair on her lip, it's just bad.
I'm not kissing her.
I'm
Like-
not kissing.
Like it looks like a caterpillar. And for women out there who have problems with hair, we're not making fun of you. We're just talking about the
No.
women who don't have hair on the lips, but the ones with do that still scare Timmy.
Yeah, that really would scare me. I don't
Really?
think I'd do. No.
Do well.
No. Or unibrow. No.
Yeah, I mean, unibrow, because I laugh because I think of Bernie and Bert. I mean, Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't. I would always tell
We're
jokes.
trying to give real
Oh, yeah,
advice.
we're giving advice.
You guys so
Okay.
mean. Now you just give people a lot of like complexes.
Okay, listen.
About
Okay.
how they
No.
look.
Okay, listen. No, how you look decent. Don't try to look
Yeah.
better than what you normally look. Just-
Exactly. Don't do something out of the norm or wear
Yeah.
something that will make yourself uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because don't
Yeah.
dress up. If
Yeah.
you're not used to dressing up, do not dress up.
and if you
for
don't know
this
how to walk
person.
in heels, wear
Don't.
flats.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just wear flats.
Just wear something like that's clean, that you feel comfortable in, that
Yeah.
looks nice.
Been washed like in this last couple of weeks.
Please don't wear pumps.
Not last year.
Do you know?
What's wrong with pumps?
Oh my god, they smell disgusting. They're
Pumps.
They incubate germs and
Oh,
How many
you mean
times?
that.
What do you go around smelling pumps for?
everything. Have you smelled those?
Have you
things?
worked in a shoe store or something? Like, pumps.
Well, you
Pumps
can
are
do something about
terrible.
foot sweat. So
Yes.
there's foot
Okay,
deodorant.
so
Yeah.
so once you got rid of all, like the things like hygiene and stuff like that, practice conversation.
And
So
listening.
part of dating is exactly it's listening, and it's actually not so much talking about yourself unless the
Yeah.
person asks you, but really ask the person about
Them.
themselves. Most people like to talk about themselves, so you ask people to talk about themselves. You get to find out more information, find out if you click, what you like, don't like. A lot of times you can be really surprised to figure out that maybe what you have in common with someone is a complement of something, not necessarily the same thing, but something that can go to really well together. Like, I really like tennis rackets. I don't like to play tennis, but I really like tennis rackets. And maybe the person I'm interested in likes tennis balls. And so that's a good
I thought
combination.
like one person really likes baking and the other one really likes eating.
Yeah.
Perfect match.
Like eating baked things. Like, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. And also, if someone is also the one always initiating questions,
Yeah, you should have a
at
balance.
least try to also initiate the questions as well. You know, some people who are asking questions, who are very inquisitive or literally talk, actually don't talk highly about themselves because it has never been appreciated, or like they've never been appreciated in that manner of them literally being asked, so what do you want? So what do you like? Even if they say, I don't know, try to at least to include them in the conversation, because they're trying to feed the conversation as much as possible
And
to get a stimuli from you.
And don't say I don't know unless you really don't know.
If you really don't know, it was like, I'm not pretty sure, but I can look it up, or just something like that.
But I think you should, I think on dates, usually you ask pretty like general
Vague.
things. Like,
Not me.
Like, what do you like? What's your, like, what free time activity do you have? How's your family? What's your work?
See, that's why
like
I'm
things,
married.
things you should know.
But I think these basics things are lately covered on like online, where like you ask those vague little things on online. You're like, oh, I think I get something, a vibe from this person. Let's meet, and then you go on the date. At least you'll expect to see how that person's reaction is, with their body language and everything like that.
Well, you're in the market, so you know the game better than me.
Much experience, you know. So.
I wouldn't say that, but it differentiates. It depends on you as a person and what you want.
Well, I think that, so if someone asks you a question, if someone says, what did you do today? And all you can say is, like normal. You're not going to have a great conversation. So if you know that you're that kind of person, just practice
Conversation.
giving, like a whole sentence with a subject, a verb, maybe a direct object.
And how do you, the easiest way to carry on a conversation is, maybe someone asks you a question, you answer it, and you give a question back.
So,
either on the same subject or on a different one.
Let's role play.
Okay.
What a really pretty dress you have on. Did you sew it yourself?
Oh, thanks for asking. No, I got it vintage from my grandma. So
you wear your grandmother's clothes? That's why I can't date.
You can't even role play.
Okay, sorry. Wow, that's really interesting that you wear your grandmother's clothes.
Please don't say it that way.
I have my grandfather's shirt on.
Oh, it's also vintage. Great.
This is going terribly.
I know, I'm sorry.
To say.
Okay, maybe I've been on the loop too long.
Yes.
So what would you guys say if you guys have in most times on dates you don't have any chemistry with someone? How would you guys
Really?
literally?
I leave after 5 minutes. I'm like, well, we don't have any chemistry. Woo, dead fish. Bye.
I don't think everyone's like that.
I think if I would go on a date and I had zero chemistry, I would still try for us to have a nice time. Still try to not waste the whole event,
the day.
Yeah, and get something out for both of us. And then in the end, I would just say, well, it was nice meeting you, but maybe you also felt that maybe it's not something that we both were looking for. I'm like, yeah, great, bye.
Why can't you just end as friends? Like, I guess because
not
for me,
everyone is meant to be friends.
If I want,
but if you don't have personal chemistry, why would you want to have friends with them?
Exactly.
But I have a lot of friends I don't have chemistry with. Most of my friends, no, just kidding. No, but,
wow.
No, but I think like, I don't know. I guess I feel split on that one, because I feel like if I already know that this is not going to go anywhere, because I believe that a person's time is important. I believe that I shouldn't take up that person's time when I know I'm not going to respond. I know already that, just like a party, I know after a few minutes if this is a happening party or if it's like, ooh, I don't want to
I'm not that confident. I'm not. I'm trying
Really?
to give. Yeah, I'm trying to give people.
I think I give people the benefit of the doubt. To
Like maybe after 1 hour they're still really cold as ice, and it could be that they are cold as ice for the next 5 hours as well, or they will warm up eventually.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it's still like if you say you go on a date, I think you should just You just
At
at
least
least
give some
owe
effort,
to finish that one date. You never have to go on a second date.
Exactly.
Man, you guys got a lot of pressure when you go on dates. A lot of things to live up to. Because I just figure that I want to get to know someone, and after I start to get to know you, I'll figure out if I want to get to know more about you or not.
Yeah, but that's after the first date.
Not after. I don't think it takes that long, I guess. I've never taken that long.
It might be so that maybe from the beginning that you guys don't find anything in common because you're literally trying, or you're being a little bit fakish in the beginning, or just like trying to put your best foot
The
forward.
only person probably I think I would just say, no, this is not happening, would be someone who would walk in with a swastika in their head, like tattooed.
That would do it for me, too.
But, I
or
mean...
if they have like a white sheet over their head, and they walk in talking about the Klan. I'm like...
I mean, I always feel like if you have chatted with this person before, or you somehow had some kind of, if it's not a blind date, you must have gotten some information that made you feel like, okay, I want to go on a date.
But that's why
so it can't be that bad.
The basics has been done when you guys were chatting.
Yeah, but that's because you assume that people would chat electronically before they dated.
But that's how most dates are steered lately.
I guess.
Isn't
Okay,
it?
sorry. In the last
Or
century?
Did you guys write letters to each other?
No.
My dear
Okay,
beloved Susan.
So this is how it happened.
His sister Susan, so don't
I
use
know,
that name.
that's like, what are you trying to say, dude? Come on.
I really
It's like
didn't know that.
incest. Oh, and not with her.
I did not know that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I mean, back in the last century, in the middle of the last century, what happens if you I would see people walking on the street, I just walk up to them and just say, "Wow, you know what? I don't know what it is. I just think that you look really pretty, or you seem to be really happy."
Do we
and
do
stuff.
that in Sweden?
It happened to me when I was in Germany. I
don't think it happens in Sweden.
It does. When
I have some beers into us.
No, but I think that. So what happens in Sweden is that most people walk and they look straight ahead, or they look down. But because I come from California, I tend to look like this. And so I'm always making eye contact with people. And so that's why it's really easy to meet people, I think, for me.
That's why people never talk to him, because they think he's weird.
He looked at my eye.
No, but it happened. But when I was in Germany, I went to the public swimming pool with my two friends who were a couple. And there was this one guy, and eventually he talked to me. He's like, hey... would you like he come join our
You
group?
sound like that? Sound like
Yeah. No. And he was asking me for my number, and I didn't really want to give it to him. And then we
You thought he was a scrub.
and then we were on the tram back home, and he just kept he wanted to sit close and really
He was macking on you.
yeah.
Wow.
And in the end I was so annoyed, I just gave him my number, but it was really a bad idea because obviously he would contact me all the time. And some point I told him, hey, let's I'll be in town for my Swedish class, so maybe we can meet up and have a chat. And then we met up, and I told him this is not working. I'm not interested in
Wow.
doing
Stop
that.
after that.
Yeah, he did.
I would have never gone that far.
I'm like, no.
But maybe I'm a mean person. Maybe I'm meaner than what I think I am.
Or maybe, because I'm also weird. If you, give me the first sign you're not interested, I leave you alone. I don't follow up.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
I have so much self-confidence that I'm just like, if I don't float your boat, that's your loss.
I also feel the exact same way.
It's because
Your loss.
It's because we're from
I don't
South
care.
Africa.
No,
But I think-
you're not.
We're
from South
close up.
You didn't even say it correctly. Oh my God.
Okay, what is something that you definitely should do on a date?
I think try to at least be rational, be reasonable, and be nice.
Kiss or no kiss first date?
It
No.
depends on the chemistry.
Nah. No, it does not. No.
Ooh, I would lick the hell out of someone who wants to kiss me back.
You know that this is public property.
And ladies, you want to know why he's still single? Because when he meets you, he starts licking on your face. He's like,
Now you
he's
got
like,
a slice of real Timmy.
No.
look, you're
No.
you're just like an ice cream sandwich. You taste good too. Why would you go on a second date with me? I don't know.
Okay,
my
okay.
face is still wet.
Now something that you definitely don't.
We don't lick people. That's what you don't do.
Okay.
No, I just meant kiss, not lick like you lick. Oh my God.
But for Ed, there is no in between. There's
This-
only licking.
You either lick or you don't lick. Okay, there's no gray area.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Why?
so
Okay, what was the question? Sorry, you said something. I wasn't listening.
I had two questions. One was, what should you definitely do on a date? And what should you definitely not do on a date?
Definitely, you should give the person as honest a picture of who you really are. Most people just lack the self-confidence. But if you show them who you are and what they're getting themselves into, first, you have the upper hand later on when they start complaining because you're like, I told you this from the beginning. and actually, people often get attracted to the image that you give them and not to you.
Yeah.
And so if you really are serious about dating and you really would like to spend time with someone, or let them get to know who you are, not an image. Just be yourself, be normal, be yourself, and that's the things you should do.
What about you?
Don't be super early or super late. It makes the situation really uncomfortable.
Depends on how cool you are.
No, I still feel
If I show up on my motorcycle and I'm like 10 minutes late, it's so cool. Everyone's
No.
like, oh.
I would just feel like
Yeah.
maybe he forgot about me. What an ass.
Exactly. It would literally feel,
Yeah.
no, don't be too early.
No, but it's true. You don't want to be like 30 minutes early.
That's really
Exactly,
desperate.
that's really like desperate and also like scares the other person.
And you don't want to be 30 minutes late either.
Pressure, like really pressure that you're like, oh my gosh, this person was there.
No, but I mean, you should try to be on time. I think like a 5-minute rule. If you get there like 5 minutes early,
Yeah, that's
10
that's
minutes.
good.
5 or 10 minutes, not any
No, no,
earlier
no.
than that.
No.
And if you really know you're gonna be late, then
You have to
don't
let
call,
them know.
Person
don't
know.
call 5 minutes late and say you're gonna be late. You call like 20, 30 minutes because you know ahead of time if you're gonna be late.
Yeah.
And just call and explain you're gonna be late and give the person an opportunity that if it doesn't fit their schedule, they don't have to waste all the time waiting for you and stuff like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
You make another date if that's possible. So.
Exactly.
And something that you definitely should do on the first date. No, was it? That
No,
was
you said that.
No,
You
okay,
should.
definitely not do on the first date. Don't never ever do that because you're going to ruin that date.
Don't kill anybody.
Please, don't rape anyone.
Yeah, don't
Oh my
rape.
gosh.
Don't kill.
You know, some people have been raped on their dates.
Yeah.
that they've
Yeah,
been
I
to.
know, but
Don't
I
spit-
thought we
don't
were
spit on
talking
anyone.
to. I mean, I thought we giving like general normal
Okay.
advice to
Yeah,
the
sorry.
general normal people.
When you're not dating Jack the Ripper, then you know obviously you're dating a normal person. No, but I think something that you shouldn't do is that you shouldn't make yourself out to be more of something than what you really are.
Yeah.
Whether you're
Be honest.
more Christian, less Christian, more intelligent, less intelligent, whatever. Just
Basically, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think being yourself is like really super important. And anything you do that's not yourself, basically you're a manipulating liar.
Or you have to live up to that. And do you know how much work it is to live up
But you
to
can't.
that
You'll
lie?
fail in the end because you're not there, and it takes so much energy and strength. Eventually, you run out. So eventually, you'll be caught. It's just sooner or later, depending on.
I think that what you definitely should do is, I agree with you guys, just be yourself. I mean, it might be you might be really quirky or weird or have a funny laugh or something. But I mean, that's maybe something that the other person really likes. I think what you definitely should not do is like unpack all the skeletons you're having at the first date.
No,
No.
I mean,
Like
no.
unless, for example, unless you are coming from a relationship and it didn't go well, and the other person's asking you, like, have
Why
you,
did you break up?
or just asking you, have you been in a relationship recently? And you can just tell like,
Yes,
I was
I've
in
been.
a relationship, it didn't work out, and that's it. But you don't need to. The first date, you shouldn't like pull all the skeletons that you're having out
But I
and
still miss her very much.
like
And I
putting
love
it all
kissing
out
her
there.
because her eyes. I mean,
Red flags.
she is more beautiful than you are, but
Red
I will take you
flags.
anyways.
Red flags.
So I feel like
Yeah.
like all the skeletons you have, save that for when the other person's ready. Because even though I feel like you should be authentic, you don't need to scare people off with too
Right.
much.
But authentic isn't blabbing. It's
Yeah.
not saying everything you know. And basically, if you're a really good listener, you'll only answer the question that's been asked.
Yeah.
So when you start providing more information than what you are asked,
then it means you didn't understand the question.
well, you weren't listening. That means you just you're looking for a therapy session.
Yeah.
But it depends on. I mean, you should
Nah,
not
I've
only.
seen
no.
If someone like,
therapy section.
I've been on dates. I've been on dates where people try to make it into a therapy session. I'm like, I am
Exactly.
not your therapist. That costs money.
I
You
don't
want my
know what
therapy?
extent you are talking about.
Some people do that.
Okay, give you an example. So you're on a date with a girl. You're like, so
on
you're like, so
date.
hey, so what's been happening in your life lately? Well, I just got out of a relationship, and we were together for like 10 years, and I was really
Okay,
happy
that's
at
too
first.
much.
Blah blah blah. An hour later, I know what this guy likes. I know what his favorite color is. I know what he likes to do for fun.
I know
Oh,
what
shit.
underwear is wearing on Tuesday.
Yeah, and I'm like, shoot. I think I want to dump her and go with him. Gee, man, this guy has to be great. Ooh.
You're just going to be a rebound.
Yeah, and you don't want to be a rebound for someone.
Rebound is a person that you are just a replacement for another person.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rebound.
And you nurse the broken heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't ghost people. Just be honest with people if you're not interested.
Yeah,
Just-
ghosting is you're not responding.
Unless
to them.
you really are that shy.
No, you
it's
should
just-
never
it should
ghost
never
people.
ghost
We didn't ghost people in
Even
my
if
day,
you
so
do
I don't
that
really
in
know what ghost.
text, people do that. Like,
Ghosting is you're just not responding anymore. So
Yeah.
whatever they're.
So
yeah,
why
but
would you
just tell someone I'm not interested?
Lynn,
Yeah.
if I wrote you an email and you didn't respond to me 2 times, don't do this to me because I never respond to people. But it's just because I'm slow. But if you don't respond, I'm just like, okay, she don't respond. I'll probably keep texting you for like 20 years.
What?
Listen, I keep
That's what
everybody's numbers. Every now and then, I get in this situation like, oh, I have time to look up old people. And I'm like, I haven't talked to you in 10 years, and I'll like send you.
Hey, what's up?
I'll send you a long letter saying, hey, this is what's been happening in my life. So what's going on in your life? Catch me up.
No.
Are you a weirdo?
No.
Yes, I am.
We have to wrap this one up.
All right. It's a wrap, sister.
So you people out there, I hope
Yes.
you got some information about dating. And we shared some of our dating and catfishing and
Yeah. And when I was laughing, it's because they were tickling me because I was being very serious.
You
there.
guys know Ed is not really serious. But just a disclaimer, like all of the things we're saying, because we got some feedback that some people felt that we are too not serious. But all
That's
the
'cause they're
topics,
boring.
all the topics we are touching upon and all the things we're talking about that are serious issues, we are serious about them. And if you want to have a different forum for this,
Make
you
your
can
own podcast.
you can check
This would be
out
fun.
And
you can check out Ed's sermons in our church, for example, if it's about marriage or if it's about other issues at www.crossculture.se.
Yeah.
So he's preaching in English, and sometimes we also have guest preachers. So if you want to have a more serious outlet, then I think that is a better form for you. But here at Fika for Life, we are about the laughing, the crying, the drama.
I just tell them the truth. What we do is, in this Fika thing in Sweden, people get together and they talk about life. And we're trying to give a situation where people actually talking, like we stated, we have food in front of us. We got, I don't know how much
Watermelon.
we had like all kinds of stuff today.
Chips.
Today, woo, wow, I just went up like 10 kilos. But the whole purpose for starting this podcast was that to sort of speak in a more casual way, as people like, you joke with your friends, you talk about stuff, and it kind of goes back and forth. And that's the whole thing, is that this is supposed to be like you've been invited into our Fika table to sit with us. Yeah, so like our living room, we're sitting here, we're just
taken off our
talking, and
shoes and just
so we're kind of
talking.
joking about stuff, but we're talking about things, and we're just sharing things like that. And so that's really the gist of our podcast. But then there are other forms where Lynn and I and Timmy also are actually a lot more serious and stuff like that. So
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. Check us out. Let us know what you feel, what you think, what you want us to talk about.
and don't forget to continue to write and to give us subjects to talk about, because you are making us.
Woo!
That was really good, huh? It's a
Look at
t-shirt.
that. Look at
Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to
Fika for Life. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or ideas, please send us a message to fikaforlife@mail.com. Fika, F-I-K-A. This was the Fika for Life podcast with Linh and Edward Thomas, and we hope to hear you again.